Hey, yeah, I just got an email and it had a lot of uh, technical language in it. I kind of want to just talk through it and maybe save a few notes. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. Do you want me to pull up the email so I'm looking at the same thing? Or would you rather just read me the parts that are tripping you up?
Yeah, it'd be great now that you can call tools while we chat. If you could just check it. I think it's from this Dr. Maya somebody.
Yep, got it right here. It's the one from Dr. Maya Linton, subject Alchemy Lab follow-up questions sent today. That's the one, right?
Yes, I think so.
Great. So the short version is she loves the demo, and now she's asking 5 practical questions before moving forward. Want me to walk through them one by one?
We don't need to go through them in a lot of detail. I'm more interested in kind of exploring the language a little bit. I may respond later, but there's a lot of technical language in there and phrases, and I kind of want to use it just to learn business English writing.
Ooh, love that angle. It's actually a great specimen of polished, formal business English. Is there a particular phrase or sentence you want to start with, or should I pick out a few that stand out to me?
Yeah, pick out a few that you see.
Sure, here are a few that stand out. First, I'd appreciate some clarification regarding the teacher-facing workflow. That phrase teacher-facing is nice business jargon. It means the part of the product that teachers actually see and use as opposed to what students see. How much latitude do instructors have? Latitude just means freedom or room to make choices. Very common in professional writing. And third, she says questions are fairly granular. Granular means detailed, down to the small specifics. Want me to keep going with a few more?
No, those are good. Can you help me practice? I like using facing at the end of things, but I'm not exactly sure how to use it.
So teacher facing is the side pointing toward teachers. The two most common ones in business are customer facing and user facing.
Oh, okay. So could I say, for example, with my personality, my family-facing personality and my friend-facing personality, would that be natural?
Grammatically, it makes sense. Native speakers would usually keep facing for products, roles, or organizations, not personal relationships. That said, people do bend the rule for humor.
Can you do this? Because I don't have time right now. Maybe we can talk about it more in the car. Could you put it into not just these three, but take some of those juicy phrases, a few more, maybe you don't have to tell me all of them right now, and just pop them into a Google Doc for me. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me put together a doc with the standout phrases and short explanations. Done. I made a Google Doc called Business English Phrases from Dr. Maya Linton's email. I put in 10 juicy ones with short explanations, including the 3 we already covered, plus a bunch of new ones like on an ad hoc basis and visibility into. It's saved in your drive whenever you're ready to dig in.
All right, let me check it out. Oh yeah, I see these. Align with a specific lesson objective, deploy with activities synchronously, real-time visibility into student participation, pedagogical adjustments during the lesson. Okay, well, yes, definitely some technical ones here. Hey, so maybe we can pick it up because I have to go. So we could talk through these in the car, maybe practice.
Sounds like a plan. We'll pick it up in the car and practice these together. Drive safe and talk soon.
All right, now before we go to the next one, there's something very interesting happening here. What I'm doing is, yes, I'm practicing English from a real email. Oh yeah, you could do that before. You can go into Claude or ChatGPT and ask it to, because there are connectors, go into your email and pull things out and add them to documents. Okay, you can do all of that, yes. Or you can have a live conversation with ChatGPT or Claude or whatever and practice your English. But now these two things are coming together so that in a live conversation, Claude can use the connectors to Gmail, to Notion, to Teams or whatever you use for work. It can connect to all of those things. And so suddenly, it's not just, okay, let's sit down and have a conversation about something so that I can learn English. Now it becomes, hey, I can actually start to get real things done that I would do if I were just using ChatGPT or Claude, maybe Gemini, and I can do them with my voice. And because I'm doing them with my voice, and it's a dialogue, it's a conversation, I have to be accurate and articulate. It's not just, oh, I'm practicing. It becomes practice as productivity rather than just practice for practice. But I'm not going to just push down on a button and dictate. I'm going to have a live conversation that feels like a live conversation. And it's much more engaging because it's real stuff that I'm doing. And I'm feeding two birds with one stone because I'm not just practicing, I'm also getting stuff done. Finally, productivity and speaking practice have merged. I think this is an important moment, and I think it needs to be recognized as an important moment. Connectors within the voice mode make that possible, and it's very cool. Hey, Luke from the future here in the middle of editing this video. Now, everything that I talk about in this video with Claude, ChatGPT can do. At least in the desktop app. I'm not sure about the phone app, but it feels like I can't finish a video without having to do an update in the middle. Anyway, now they can both do all of this stuff. Now, the other thing is, it is, in my opinion, smarter. I'm not saying the voice is more natural. I think the voice is exactly the same. It's still once in a while it's a little choppy. I don't think it's a big deal. But you can choose, instead of it being only haiku, which was the lowest tier model, which was connected to the voice mode, now you can choose Sonnet, and you can even choose Opus, the top model. So you can chat with Opus, and everything's connected, and you can be productive and practice your spoken English and get feedback and pick out things as you're doing stuff that's interesting that you want to save for later or remember or practice further or practice in the car, as I just did. So let's try a couple other things. Hey there, Claudie Poo. I'm just kind of, I'm poking around the job market. I wonder if you could look for product manager roles for me. Either hybrid or remote, hybrid in New York City. And then we'll see what comes up. Search ZipRecruiter.
Okay, I pulled up 5 out of nearly 300 matches. Here are a few that stood out. There's a remote product manager role at Kissway, posted just yesterday, around 93 to 116,000. With full benefits. There's also a product manager at Verisk in Jersey City hybrid, paying roughly $147 up to $205,000. And on the bigger end, JP Morgan has a product manager, vice president role, also hybrid in Jersey City, same upper salary band. Want me to dig into any of those or narrow the search a bit?
Those are pretty good. Could you for each of those, just grab the links and then some background details for each one, and then 3 interview questions for that I might be asked for those, and then just pop them into Notion.
On it. Let me grab the Notion tool and put together a page with all 3. Done. I created a Notion page called Product Manager Roles NYC Area Shortlist with all 3. Quick honesty note though. Those job links are ZipRecruiter redirect tokens, so they should open the listing, but they're not pretty permanent URLs. And the interview questions are my educated guesses based on each company's focus, not pulled from the actual post.
Can you give me one of the interview questions just as an example?
Walk me through how you'd prioritize features for a live streaming product where latency and reliability are critical. That fits their live video and sports streaming focus.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. Looks good. I'll check these out later and let you know if I want to practice any of the questions. Thank you. Hey, so I was just watching a podcast. Actually, I was listening to it, and I just wanted to review some of the key points. I copied the transcript and dumped it into Notion. I put it under, I think, Podcast with Megan. Do you think we could go over some of the details?
Yeah, for sure. Let me find that in Notion real quick. Found it, Megan Podcast Discussion. Let me pull it up. That's a great conversation with Megan Kobze at New America College. Want me to hit the big themes, or is there a specific part you're trying to review?
I was just watching it, and I want to just test my recall. So could you ask me a couple questions about it?
So Luke and Megan spent a good chunk of the conversation on the role of AI in English learning. How would you sum up where they landed on that? And do you think they got it right?
I think their take was that AI is a useful tool, and it's something that's happening anyway. And so the best thing that schools or teachers can do is embrace it, learn it, and figure out how to best use it responsibly to actually help students.
That's a solid summary. The one nuance I'd add is that Megan drew a sharp line between AI as a creation tool, which basically produces slop and hides what a student actually knows, versus AI as a diagnostic and tutoring tool, like feeding it a handwritten essay with tight prompts so it flags errors without rewriting anything. That distinction was really the heart of it. Next one. Both of you kept circling back to mindset as a predictor of success. What was the argument there, and did it land for you?
If you have the wrong mindset, it doesn't really matter what you do because your mindset determines how successful you're going to be. So that's the first step, maybe the most important foundation.
Right, and that tracks with what you said, that you could almost predict someone's success from mindset alone.
How do you know it's what I said? Did I ever say that it was me who said it? I mean, it was me, but I don't think I ever specifically said that this is me talking with Megan.
Honestly, I inferred it. The transcript opens in your voice talking about your channel, the 90-day program, help via WhatsApp, and it mentions 15 years of teaching, which matches you. So I put it together rather than you telling me outright. Was I right that it's you?
Yeah. You inferred correctly. All right. Thank you so much. Well, I mean, speaking of that, I think, Claude, if I may say, your voice is not the best in the world. I think it's not as natural as, ChatGPT's new voice or even Grok or Sesame, maybe even Gemini, but it's not bad. I notice sometimes you get stuck mid-action. I'm wondering if your voice somehow is tied to the action you're doing and you stop talking while you do the action. That would be feedback for the Anthropic team if that's the case. To make those two things separate, you should be able to talk and do things in the background.
I'd appreciate the honest feedback and no offense taken. You're actually onto something real there. When I fire off a tool call like searching Notion, the talking and the doing aren't fully parallel yet, so you get those little stalls mid-thought. That's a good catch and exactly the kind of thing worth passing along. I'll take the not the worst as a win for now.
Yeah, I think so. But I will say that the tool calling or connectors, the ability to do stuff through not just dictation, but through conversation as this sort of flow of consciousness, productivity plus practice, those two not having a clear line anymore, that is a new thing, I think, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny, that blurred line is kind of the same thing you and Megan were gesturing at for learning. The AI receding into the background while the real conversation stays front and center. For you, it's productivity and practice bleeding together. Instead of stopping to go do a task, you just talk, and it happens around you.
All right. Very interesting. I think even though this is a little rough around the edges, a bit of choppiness, the pauses as it's working, I think it's the future. I think the future is not, let me sit down and practice. I think the future of learning, especially for speaking practice, is going to be a bit more blended. You might be doing things and learning and practicing speaking all at the same time. And the line between I'm practicing and I'm doing things gets really fuzzy. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing as long as the practice does focus on priorities, weak areas, and as long as you're getting feedback throughout. I think this is an early version of what's coming, and I think it's pretty cool. I like it. Again, a little rough around the edges, but I like it. Let me know what you think. Try it out for yourself. If you haven't already done so, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. The 90-day program, the best way to improve your English in 90 days. As Claude said, you get my WhatsApp and help from me throughout. AI practice that actually knows the content you're learning, so you're not just practicing randomly. And feedback throughout that is aware of the goals, for example, of the assignment. So that's really important. You're not just randomly practicing. Again, it has to stay on track, and it has to be relevant to what you're doing. And you get a full 1-year membership when you complete the 90-day program. So I think it's a really, really good deal. So check that out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.